We have a cultural obsession with the outlaw. We look at massive, concentrated wealth, and a quiet assumption creeps in. To reach that level, you have to bend the law. The rules don't apply to the people at the top, right? We are conditioned to think this way. Most of our exposure to high-stakes choices comes through television and movies, where writers literally need characters to make terrible, unethical decisions just to drive the plot forward. Bad actors have become our default blueprint for success. But lifting that fictional, rule-breaking framework off the screen and applying it to your actual finances introduces a massive vulnerability. In the real world, bending the law doesn't create a thrilling plot twist. It creates a liability. When we treat shady loopholes as legitimate business strategies, we replace a solid financial foundation with a series of high-risk variables. A business model that relies on shortcuts remains precarious, as its success is tethered to the hope that those shortcuts go unnoticed. Compliance is easy when rules work in your favor. If a code gets you a refund, following the law feels natural. But the real test happens when mechanics reverse. When a rule demands a loss, compliance creates friction. Faced with that friction, human instinct avoids the pain. We justify a self-serving shortcut to protect our pocketbook. Financial ruin rarely begins with a massive, calculated fraud scheme. It starts right here, with one singular, rationalized exception made purely for convenience and personal benefit. That is why business ethics is a deliberate, continuous practice. It is the active choice to follow the rules, specifically when it hurts to do so. There are rare moments in life where breaking a rule to defend someone else carries a higher moral standing due to the self-sacrifice involved. But tipping the scales purely for selfish financial preservation does not carry that same weight. When you feel the sudden temptation to fudge a number or hide an asset, you shouldn't view that urge as a personal failure. Instead, treat it as a built-in alarm system. It is a prompt for immediate self-reflection. Ignoring that alarm is dangerous. If you skip the reflection and take the shortcut, that isolated choice quickly compounds into a behavioral habit. The boundary of what you are willing to break moves a little further each time. This accumulation of minor, unchecked compromises often acts as the silent catalyst for high-profile financial failures. Choosing to bypass reflection today makes the next ethical compromise feel inevitable rather than shocking. You can engineer this temptation out of your life entirely. The operational solution is to stop scrambling every April. By shifting to a year-round, proactive strategy, you remove the stress that triggers those bad decisions. Precise bookkeeping and continuous advisory provide absolute clarity. When you actually know your numbers, you eliminate the sudden financial surprises and the quiet desperation that usually cause rule-breaking in the first place. Optimize entity structure and deduction strategies ahead of time. As these plans stack up, savings bake into your business. Establishing these steel pillars requires merging law, economics, and accounting expertise, turning a simple tax return into a secure, long-term asset. True tax strategy means you never have to search for illegal loopholes at the last minute because you have engineered a structural foundation where you simply do not need them. Consider the unseen reality of the unpunished rule breaker. Even if they are never audited, they carry the massive, exhausting psychological toll of hiding unethical secrets. The invisible anxiety of discovery compounds over time. It wears down their personal life, destabilizes their relationships, and frequently erupts later down the line as a full-blown midlife crisis. These individuals often develop a paradoxical urge to go off the rails. The pressure of maintaining a fraudulent empire becomes so suffocating that a part of them actually wants to burn it all down, just to finally be done with the lie. The immediate gain of an unearned tax break carries a long-term interest rate paid in chronic anxiety. It is a persistent liability against one's own peace of mind, with a repayment schedule that lasts as long as the secret is kept. Compare that anxiety to the concept of the ethical millionaire. This is someone whose wealth is built on clean numbers, plain explanations, and complete transparency. Operating with ethical practices allows for genuine financial stability. When you know every dollar was earned and accounted for legally, there is no threat waiting to unravel your progress. Choosing compliance when the rules result in a personal disadvantage serves as a safeguard for your future. This discipline shields the wealth you have already accumulated from the risk of sudden forfeiture or legal intervention. Doing things the uplifting way allows you to actually enjoy the course of your journey to success. You get to keep your wealth without looking over your shoulder. Integrity in your taxes is a duty to the law, sure, but more importantly, it is the ultimate untouchable return on investment for a wealthy, peaceful life.